Hey there. I was about to make some more Ravencoin Vanity addresses, so I thought I'd just kind of share the process in case anybody else wanted to see how it was done. I'm just making these for fun. I'm going to be running an executable program from Git that it's not truly trusted, so I'm just going to do it in a sandbox environment. And by not trusted, I just mean I didn't compile it or anything, so just playing it safe. And I'll probably create these addresses with networking turned off. Just as a little extra protection, even though I don't plan on putting much Ravencoin on these, I'll probably just be playing with them, but I'll still kind of do that. So anyways, first I'm just going to open up Sandbox, Windows Sandbox. I'll just use that one since it's already built in. Now, it's I guess I should say it's built in if you have Windows 10 Pro or I think Enterprise, and it's not enabled by default, so you do have to enable it. If you're out of luck if you have I think Windows Home, I don't think they included it, but it's really easy to enable. You just open up Control Panel, just go to Programs and turn features on, and then kind of scroll to the bottom of this list here, and you can kind of see there it is, Windows Sandbox. You just have to check that, and then that'll enable it for you. Again, that's if you have Windows Pro, Windows 10 Pro, or Enterprise. So anyways, now I got the Sandbox open, so I got my own little kind of testing environment. I'm just going to go ahead and open up Edge. I'm going to open up Google. And I'm just going to search for Ravencoin Vanity address. And I'll post the links below just so you have it. But I mean, it's pretty easy to find here too. So anyways, here's Tron's article, and that's kind of the one I wanted. So I'll just open that up. And you can see this is great. This kind of gives you a good, readout of basically what the vanity address is and how it works on here. He uses the Raven guy as an example, which is pretty cool. And here is the link to the program with his GitHub. So I'll just go ahead and open that up. Now, as he mentions in here, he compiled it for a Mac. And since I don't have a Mac, I have a Windows. That's kind of why I'm going to end up running a different executable. Now, here's this Git, and I could probably compile this, I guess, and make my own executable. But just to make it a little easier, I'm going to go ahead and just run it from, if you look down here, he kind of forked this from Vanity Gen Plus, and so I'll just go ahead and go here to get the executables that I need to run. Now, the one thing I do want to mention is he updated this for Ravencoin, and you can see Ravencoin in here, and since this Vanity Gen Plus 1.5.3 doesn't have Ravencoin in it, we're going to just have to run it for a separate coin that has the same settings. So I'll just kind of show you in here. If you go into the program here, you can see where Tron added Ravencoin. Let me scroll down to kind of where the list of coins are, and you can kind of see in here he has Raven, and it starts, all Ravencoin addresses will public addresses will start with this capital R. So when I go into Vanity Gen Plus, I'm going to use this ROI coin, which also starts with an R, and it does have the same settings, because if you look in here, I'll just search for ROI. You can see the settings are address type 60 and the private type of 128, and so I'll just jump in here for Raven, and you can see searching for Raven, address type 60, private type 128. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and use the executables that are already compiled and just use an ROI as my my key indicator for which coin, but I'll just use those addresses for Raven. So one other thing to note, I'll go down here, scroll up to the top here, let me go back in here, is this program has not been thoroughly tested. Please attempt importing an address first and basically send a tiny amount. I mean, they're kind of, a little CYA, basically, use this at your own risk is what it sounds like. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just gonna, play around with these. But anyways, I'm not responsible if you lose everything because this program's hacked or something. So, use your own judgment and your own risk. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up this executable, or the link to the executable, and here it is right here, Vanity Gen Plus 1.5.3. And if you go into the code, you can see that Ravencoin's missing, but again, we're just gonna use that ROI. So the executables are right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and download that binary. Now this did flag as a virus when I did it in when I tried downloading it in my normal Windows environment. So that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to use a sandbox. A lot of mining programs flag it as viruses though, so is it really a virus? I don't know. But decided to play it safe, so I'll open up the folder. And here you can see it's zipped up, so I'm just going to extract it into the same folder. Okay, here are the files we're going to need. Now, I'll just go back real quick. So there's a few separate files in here. One of them is if you want to mine with the Windows CPU or GPU. Since I'm in a sandbox environment, I'm just going to use the CPU. And these are kind of some examples of the commands that we'll need. So I'll go ahead and do that. And so before I run this though, I'm just going to go ahead, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, but disable the networking in the sandbox environment, just so you know this program's not talking back out to anybody, or if it saves it, you know, it can't reach back out, and then when I close this environment, you know, poof, hopefully everything will be gone. So open network and internet settings, change adapter settings, and I'm just going to disable it. So I can close those up, and if I was to try to browse the web, I'll just open up another tab. Can't reach this page. So, and you can see down here that it's not connected. So now we can go ahead and start creating some keys to play with. So these have to be run in command line. Kind of the easiest way to get into command line into this folder thing is just in the address bar, just highlight that junk, and then type cmd. And that's going to open up a CLI window already in that directory that you were just in. So let's see what we're going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and, since we're doing the Windows CPU, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. There are some settings in here that you can kind of play around with. I'll just put it into Notepad. And as you can see, that some of the settings are, you know, the C is going to be what coin, and we already know that we're going to do ROI because we don't have the compiled Raven version. -0 means it's going to save the matches that it finds into this text file. I don't care, I'll just leave it. -I is case insensitive. That means it's gonna look for whatever you want it to have at the beginning of your address. It's going to be upper or lowercase. You know, it doesn't care about the case. And then -K is kind of cool because that means, hey, just keep going. So if it finds the first one, it's going to keep chugging away until you actually stop the program. Otherwise, you can get rid of that -K, and after the first one, it's going to just stop. So we'll just say, let's see, we'll just search for Raven. You know, we want a address that's going to start with Raven, and I'm going to get rid of the -K, so it's only going to find one. And we'll go ahead and start. Get that window again. And that was fast. Kind of as Tron mentioned in the article, you know, as you start adding characters, it's going to be multiply it by like 50, 80 times. So it kind of gets exponentially harder. But, you know, this was case insensitive, searching for Raven. So it found, you know, capital R, capital A, lowercase v, capital E, lowercase n. That's kind of lame. I wanted all capital Raven, you know. It's just going to look better. So I'll just get rid of that case insensitive. And, you know, it's pretty fast searching for 5 characters. You can see it found me an address. This is my public address, capital RAVEN, just like I wanted. And then it's got the private key below it, which I could import into a wallet, you know, and then play around. Now I can go ahead, if I want multiple ones to play around with, we can just go back and add that -K, and you can see it found one, then it's just gonna keep going until it finds another one, and then it's gonna keep going. I'm gonna hit Control C to stop it, and you see I got quite a few now that I can play around with. If you wanted to really make it harder, like, let's see, we'll add a couple extra characters, like maybe I want Raven guy. And I want it to be case case sensitive. I want all caps Raven guy. This is gonna probably take a while to find one like that. So let's see. Yep, it's saying it's running about 1.8 million keys. It seems to be going down 1.6 million keys per second, and looks like the probability, I got a 50% chance in 4.3 days. So definitely, matching the case with 8 characters, it's gonna take a while. Probably 50% in 4 days, so hopefully 100% chance in 8 days. I guess it just depends on your luck. And again, this is 1.6 million keys per second. And as I said, I'm running a lot of, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is my Bitcoin node, my Ravencoin node. It's also, I got 6 video cameras streaming into this, and it's being recorded. So it's doing a lot of stuff. Oh, and I'm running Camtasia and filming this right now. So I could get definitely higher than 1.6 million keys per second. It's just gonna, if I wasn't running all this stuff in the background. So anyways, and you can also see, kind of interesting, we'll just go into Task Manager. I was kind of wondering at first, running this stuff in Sandbox, how much, processors dedicated to the Sandbox and how much is for other stuff. And you can see it pretty much just maxes out my processor when I'm running this, searching for keys and then doing all the other stuff. Normally I think I run about 15-20% utilization. Now it's just maxed out at 100. So anyways, kind of interesting if you're into that sort of stuff. Anyways, 4.3 days. I don't want to wait that long, so I'm going to stop it. Let's see, Control C. Is it not stopping? It's a little bit laggy in here. Got so much stuff running. There it goes. Took a second. And so we'll go ahead, and I want Raven guy, but I don't care about the case. It could be upper lowercase, whatever. So see what it goes. It went from around 50% was in around 4 days to 50% in about, looks like 1.5 hours. So definitely could be a lot faster if you don't care about the case. But of course, it's a vanity address and you want it to look how you want it to look. So anyways, that's about it. Just like I said, this program's, I'm running an executable that I didn't compile. So, trust it however much you will. It's kind of one of those at your own risk things. As it says, hasn't been thoroughly tested, hasn't been tested for all these coins. So it's just kind of playing around for me. But anyways, that's how I made my Ravencoin vanity addresses, in case you're wondering. And there's other coins in here too that you can play around with if you want to try making some of those. And anyways, it's good to poke around, see what it's all about. But I hope that helps somebody. Anyways, everybody have a good day, and go Ravencoin.